Hello! Cal is a very independent teenager who does well in school. He is seriously interested in drawing and even works part-time at the grocery store after class. He also takes care of his beloved dog named Runt. However, there is nobody who can take care of the boy. He is constantly harassed by school bullies, and the situation is getting worse by the day. His mother is at work all the time, having no idea about her son's problems. The boy's father passed away. It's only a matter of time before Cal can't take it anymore and decides to stand up for himself. And when he does, violence could not be avoided. Cal, a teenager, wakes up to an alarm, and his faithful dog Runt helps him get up by giving his owner a good stomping. The boy has a passion for drawing, and the walls of his room are covered with many sketches and portraits of Gabriela, the girl he has an unrequited crush on. Cal takes a shower, while Runt quenches his thirst straight from the toilet. Afterward, the reckless dog pulls a condom out of the guy's backpack, and the owner has to yank it out of the dog's teeth. He feeds him, says goodbye, and rides his bicycle to school. Along the way, he sees Gabriela with her friends in a car, and 3 jocks who consider themselves to be the coolest kids in school. Among them is Gabriela's boyfriend, Vic, and his right-hand man, a jerk, Hank. As Cal approaches the school entrance, he notices a coin on the floor and tries to pick it up. The scene is seen by a girl named Cecily.
Cal, it's glued down. Ronnie, you're an idiot.
The bullies film the humiliation, while Cecily helps Cal get up. She finds a condom that fell out of the guy's backpack and hides it before the others notice. The coin she shoves away. Cal walks into class to write a test. Hank sits behind him and forces the boy to let him and his friend copy his answers. The teacher is suspicious of the bullies and calls Cal over to find out if the two are cheating. Although the teacher threatens to lower Cal's grade, he covers for Hank so he doesn't get his face punched in after school. Gabriela shows up for the next class, and Cal keeps glancing at her to finish another drawing. The class is divided into random teams, and Cal takes someone else's seat to be with Gabriela in one of the groups. They begin discussing the book they were assigned, but the girl is completely uninterested in literature or talking to Cal. Cal shows Gabriela's portrait to his friend Borgie in the school's cafeteria. He praises the drawing, but says Cal can't present it to the girl because she is already dating Vic. Cal is convinced that he has a chance and recalls his father, who won Cal's mother's love by writing her a song. The next class is art, and the teacher gives Cal a lot of praise for his talent. She also notices an invitation letter from UCLA, but Cal himself replies that he wants to study in Rhode Island, which is located on the opposite side of the country. Cecily sits at the desk next to him and hears their conversation. She is surprised that Cal wants to move so far away. The girl wants to ask Cal to be her date for the homecoming dance, but she's interrupted by Borgie, and Cecily, frustrated, doesn't have time to ask the question before the bell rings. At recess, Cal musters up all of his courage and catches Gabby in the hallway. He asks if she will go to the homecoming dance, but the girl just laughs and says that such events are lame and no one goes to them. The embarrassed guy hesitates to show her his sketch and sneaks it into the girl's backpack as she leaves. Upset Cal goes to his bike to ride it home, but Vic and Hank seize the vehicle. They are unhappy that the teacher threw their tests into the trash bin and take the bike away to talk to Cal face to face.
I already told you I didn't say anything. And I get that. I do, but if they can't play, then the team suffers.
Vic explains that if his friends don't get a pass for the subject, they will be suspended from the team's next football match. In turn, this will hurt Vic's chances to prove himself to the scouts who are looking for high school athletic talent. Vic asks Cal to talk to the teacher and convince him that the two did not cheat, but the guy's too angry and doesn't want to deal with the problems of these jerks. For that, they stick him in a barrel and send it down the stairs. Afterwards, Cal gets to work as a packer at the grocery store. He is late because of the incident, and his body hurts from hitting the steps. After a long day, he wants to just lie down and rest, but Runt starts squealing, asking the boy to play with him. Cal picks up his baseball bat and throws the joyful dog a ball. Cal's mother comes home late and goes straight to bed. Her son doesn't see her at all. The next morning, the principal calls the boy into her office and tells him that a stadium worker saw the players beating him up. The team coach and Vic come into the office as well. In his hands is a drawing that Cal stuffed into Gabby's backpack earlier. He claims that the hapless artist is stalking his girlfriend, and she is already afraid of Cal. The guy realizes it's only going to get worse if he admits, and he denies he was beaten. The principal decides she won't question those involved in the conflict any further, and throws the drawing in the trash. To avoid the stares and taunts, Cal spends his recesses in the bathroom stall. At the end of the classes, Cecily approaches Cal and asks if he wants to go to the library with her and have a smoke. She also invites him to the homecoming dance. Cal repeats the answer that Gabriela gave him. The dance sucks, and no one goes there.
Correction. Nobody goes to those things to dance.
Cecily leaves, and Cal goes to his part-time job at the supermarket. After finishing another crappy day, he spots Cecily outside the library and decides to approach her. They smoke together, and the girl asks Cal for a ride home. They ride his bike together and fall right in front of Cecily's house. Here, the guy takes his mind off his obsession with Gabriela for a bit and appreciates Cecily's beauty. He says she should wear short skirts, but the girl replies that she likes long ones and leaves. The next day, Cal hears the school's team's coach trying to convince the teacher not to punish his players for failing the test. He argues that the only chance for the boys to get into university is through athletic achievement, and they shouldn't ruin their careers. Later at literature class, Gabby apologizes for her boyfriend's behavior and tells Cal that she really liked his drawing. She also says that she and Vic are having a party at his house this weekend and invites Cal to come over.
You should come and show him that none of this even bothers you.
Sweet, can I go?
Borgie too finds out about the awesome invitation and tries to go together with Cal. But the guy hasn't yet decided if he should go and provoke Vic. After school, the friends go to the countryside together to shoot targets with a revolver, where Borgie keeps on telling Cal that he has finally won Gabriela's attention and should not miss his chance. Cal eventually gives in to the persuasion and shows up with his friend at Vic's house in the evening. They see the guests drinking and partying and consuming everything, both legal and illegal. Gabriela greets Cal and compliments Cecily's dress, who also showed up to the party. Cal pays more attention to Cecily, and Gabby leaves. Soon Borgie gets drunk and begins to draw too much attention to himself, offering to rub his belly, akin to a Buddha statue. To stay out of the scene, Cecily and Cal go out for some air and have a nice conversation. That's when Vic and his buddies notice them. They harass the couple, and Vic starts questioning Cal about the drawing. The bullies shove Cal into the trunk of a car, and Vic starts groping Cecily obscenely, thus supposedly restoring justice. The scene is interrupted by Gabriela, who pushes Vic away while Cal climbs out through the interior.
No, just stay away from me.
Oh my God, sweetie, are you okay?
Stay away from me.
In tears, Cecily gets into the car and drives off alone. The next day, Borgie apologizes for not being able to stand up for his friend. Cal doubts that he could have helped him at all. They quarrel, and Borgie criticizes Cal for never fighting back against his abusers. In response, the chubby guy hears that Vic and his buddies see him as a laughingstock too, instead of one of their own. Cal leaves, and afterwards notices that Cecily has not come to school. Gabriela hands him a note, but he throws it in the trash without reading it. After school, Cal discovers that his bicycle chain has been cut, and he won't make it to work on time. He tries to call his mother for a ride, but she doesn't answer. And when he finally arrives at work, his boss fires him, claiming that there are a lot more responsible teenagers who desire to take his place. He has no other choice but to go back for the bicycle and drag it back to the house, where his mother is already asleep. Cal is furious and takes the car keys. Runt jumps in with him. The boy arrives at Vic's house to get revenge for all he's done to him. He tries to slash the tires on his car, but that doesn't work out. Cal notices the lighter fluid in the garage and pours it into the trunk in which the bastard has locked him in before. He starts a fire, but after seeing what he's done, Cal gets scared and flees. His car and dog are spotted by Hank, who ran out of the house with Vic. The next day, Cal complains to his mother about feeling unwell and stays home. His mother, who works as a nurse, tries to give him money, but the proud son does not accept it, as he promised to pay for the dog's medicine and food himself. Afterwards, he fixes his bicycle and visits Cecily's house with Runt. Her father opens the door and tells him that his daughter is not home. The man doesn't know what happened last night. The girl isn't at the library either, but that's where Hank spots Cal and recognizes Runt as the dog he saw near Vic's house and starts chasing the arsonist. Cal manages to escape. The boy then arrives at the gun store, where he chooses a weapon to defend himself. In the evening, Cecily gets in touch with Cal, and they meet. The guy offers to report Vic to the police for harassment, but the girl refuses. Her father is on probation, and he might do something if he finds out about his daughter's problems. The last thing she wants is for him to go to jail. Everyone at school already knows that Cal has set Vic's car on fire, and if the police get involved, there will be no escape from punishment. Cal's future would be in jeopardy. He might not be able to enroll in college.
This isn't right, okay? You can't let that prick off the hook because of something that I did.
The guy will no longer avoid problems, and the girl asks him to be more careful. At school, Borgie meets his friend, trying to reconcile with him. It turns out that he was the one who cut the bicycle chain because he was very angry. Throughout the day, Cal is the first one to run out of class after the bell to avoid running into Vic and his buddies. But they catch up with him in the parking lot anyway and start beating him up. A crowd gathers around them, so Cal starts fighting back with the brass knuckles he bought. He manages to defend himself quite successfully, but being an inexperienced fighter, he is quickly stripped of his weapon. The teacher intervenes, giving Cal time to escape. The guy limps home, but he's proud that he fought off the bullies after all. Suddenly, Ronnie and his gang stop and ask him to get in the car. He hates Vic too, and appreciates the guy who has challenged the scumbag. After giving Cal the nickname Madman, they give him a ride home and invite him to go bowling tonight. There, Ronnie tells how his father fought his son's addiction by spraying his substances with a cleansing agent. This method took a heavy toll on Ronnie's health, and he had to spend a long time in the hospital. He invites Cal to continue the evening, but the guy clearly doesn't fit in and decides to spend time with Cecily instead. He calls her for a walk, and when he gets home, the girl is already waiting at the door, playing with Runt.
You always pay such close attention when your dog takes a dump.
He has a condition.
Cal has picked up the lone stray dog and has been taking care of him ever since. Cecily asks how the bowling went, and Cal replies that it was fun, but he'd have rather spent his time differently. They enter the house, and Cecily gives the boy his lost brass knuckles. She tells him that Vic hurt his hand in the fight, and the team coach was furious at him for that. Cal is afraid he's going to get in trouble, but Cecily hugs him and promises to always support him. And if Vic pulls another stunt, they'll surely get their revenge. The young couple is watching a movie, and Runt becomes jealous and starts whining. This becomes very distracting, and Cal takes the dog outside. The teens fall asleep, cuddled up on the couch. In the morning, Cal wakes up later than the girl, who has already peeked into his room and seen countless portraits of Gabriela. She praises them, but Cal rips the drawings off the wall and crumbles them into a lump. Cecily also finds a letter from the University of Rhode Island. Cal still hasn't opened it, and he didn't want to upset the girl with the news of his departure. The guy opens it in front of Cecily and reads out that he was rejected, though that doesn't upset him at all. It is time for the girl to go home, so Cecily gives Cal a tender kiss goodbye. She leaves, and the boy suddenly realizes that he can't find Runt anywhere. Outside, he notices a bat stained with blood and realizes that the irreparable has happened. The dog's lifeless body lies nearby in a garbage can. Heartbroken and desperate, Cal buries his friend and rushes to the school to confront Vic. With a poker face, the football player denies everything, but Cal doesn't believe him. All day long, the guy doesn't notice anyone around him, following Vic to catch him in a lie. Cecily asks him to stop ignoring her. She pushes for answers from Cal and realizes what has happened. Before the team's upcoming match, the whole school gathers in the gym, where a boosting talk is taking place. Vic shows up with a microphone to get the crowd fired up, but when Cal walks in, the whole school starts chanting Madman. Aware of the conflict, they side with Cal and push the guy to the center of the hall. Vic demands him to get out, but Cal refuses and suggests he make him do it. Now Cal has no doubt who killed his dog, and shocked, leaves the gym. He chooses a different moment to exact his revenge. During the game, Cal leaves the bat near the stadium and sneaks into the team's locker room. There, he finds the substances that Vic's two buddies regularly use. The guy sprays them with the cleanser, so they experience all the side effects that Ronnie had told him about. The team is losing badly, and at halftime the coach gives the players a scolding. Vic isn't playing because of an injured hand and has to watch from the sidelines. He also lost all respect from the team because of the recent events. When his friends decide to take the doping, they immediately begin to writhe in agony, and the teenagers get taken away in an ambulance. Cecily and Borgie begin to suspect that Cal is involved in what has happened. In the meantime, the guy finds Vic and hints that his friends were poisoned for a reason. Vic starts chasing Cal, but as the guy turns the corner, he gets hit with a bat and falls to the ground.
You came to my house to beat a little, helpless dog to death.
Vic justifies his actions by saying that he came to beat up Cal, but the dog attacked him and the teenager had to defend himself. Cal doesn't stop and keeps hitting his sworn enemy. Cecily and Borgie see the fight, but decide not to get involved. Meanwhile, Cal demands that Vic apologize, but he refuses and snatches the bat from his attacker's hands. He knocks Cal to the ground, but the boy is saved by Borgie, who comes back and fires his parent's revolver into the air. Cal doesn't want Borgie to get in trouble, so he takes the gun away from him. His friend asks him not to do anything stupid.
We grew up the same and I get it. I know you don't know, and that's what I'm doing here.
But Cal is ready to make Vic pay for all he's done and points the revolver at him. Furious, he can't let the scumbag escape justice for the umpteenth time and is going to deliver it himself. This is when Cecily finds him and begs the boy not to kill Vic. She takes the revolver, but instead gives Cal the baseball bat Vic used to kill Runt. Cal gives Vic another 2 hard blows, even though he is already lying on the ground begging for mercy. Cal and Cecily leave and get rid of the bat and the revolver. The guy asks her to leave, but the girl decides to stay and face the consequences of their actions together. The guy invites her to homecoming, and they go there to the howling of police sirens. As always, look for the name of the movie in the video description. In the meantime, let us know in the comments, are there any ways to keep teenage conflicts from escalating into violence? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like so that more awesome stories come out as often as possible.